Hello friends, I hope you're doing well. It is National Fried Chicken Day, and I should have done this ahead of time so I could get it posted for you before late. So I'm gonna rush this, starting this at 3:30 in the afternoon, try to get it done. So if you wanna do it today, you can do it today, or you can do it for your Sunday dinner. That's gonna be great as well. Okay, all right, so as with many things, you develop recipes and tastes over time. I normally produce a recipe for you that is similar to how my mom would have made it, or grandma or dad or something like that. This is not the case at all. This is fried chicken, and I have developed my own recipe over the years of taste that I like and different things. And I picked up some tricks. If you saw the Paula Deen video earlier, I picked up some things from her that I like to do as well. I am going to start with my egg mixture here. That'll be okay. I got a little piece in there. That's why they say to do it in a separate bowl, isn't it? We'll pick that little piece of the shell out. And I think about 3 eggs is going to do it. We'll just see, because we're going to have a good little bit of stuff in our mixture here. I remember what we would do is literally wash the chicken in water and then coat it in flour and dump it right into the black iron skillet. You know, those things can still work today. I think that the crispiness just wasn't there. But I like a crunch. I also remember grandmother would not cook it all the way. She would fry it, get the sear on it, and then cover it up in a big baking dish, if you will, and then pop it in the oven on a lower temperature, and it would cook while we were at church and finish cooking, and it would be great. You know, never really wanted for anything. We didn't know what was going on out there in the world when people say real crispy fried chicken. It was just grandma's fried chicken, right? It was good. So I've got my 3 eggs. I'm gonna cook 6 pieces of chicken. I'm gonna have some for this afternoon for me. And then I am going to have some for my lunch in the morning, or breakfast. I guess it's more of a breakfast. So here's the difference. Yes, I'm putting an entire 10-ounce bottle of hot sauce. Your favorite kind will be fine. Whatever you got, whatever is your favorite. For those of you who say, I don't want the heat, trust me when I tell you, you will not have the heat. I don't know what happens. You get some of that flavor from the pepper and the cayenne peppers. This is a cayenne pepper based, by the way. And literally, I just do not notice a big difference. This is buttermilk. I've already shaken it, but I'll do it again for those of you. There we go. I think that's going to be good. And this is going to be my little marinade, if you will, that my chicken is going to soak in for about an hour. If you got longer, if you could let it do this overnight, I think it would be even better. But not going to do that today because I'm going to try to get it done for you all. And all I want to do, you see I've just kind of got it laid out in this pan. I just want it to coat that pan just a little bit. There. And there's my mixture. Pull you up here. I know some of you are going to say, I can't see what you're doing. Not at my house. I don't have all of my stuff. But here, there's what it looks like. Just mixed it together with my egg and my buttermilk. And if I don't have buttermilk, some of you have seen this before, I just use regular old milk. But today I was at the store. I said, for those of you who are always saying, Kyle, where's the buttermilk? There's the buttermilk today. So I'm going to just give a little twist of my black pepper right on the chicken. In case you want to see it. And then here's my salt. Before I did this with the hot sauce mixture, I always added some garlic and paprika and almost made like a dry rub. And then I would coat it in the flour, and I would mix all that in the flour, which was really good. So you can do that as well. If you don't trust me about the hot sauce, take the flour you're going to use and get you a good mixture in it of garlic or garlic powder and paprika, and if you want a little hint of the cayenne or something like that, you can do that as well. So here's what we're going to do. Pour that over it. And there it is. And I'm going to let my chicken sit in this mixture for an hour. I'm going to get that bowl here in a minute. And I'm just doing these chicken legs. I'm going to let that sit. And I will come back and get this battered up and we'll get it fried for you. I'm using peanut oil. I hope. I've got to ask. My friend whose house I'm house sitting, sometimes you ask me, you're not in your kitchen. No, I'm not today. But her son's allergic to peanuts. So I need to see if I can use the peanut oil in her house because I don't want to make him sick. If not, we'll find something else. I might have to run to the store, maybe just a simple vegetable oil or something like that. But we obviously have to have a oil that can have a high heat tolerance because we're going to pull this grease up to a high temperature to get it fried. And so we'll let this sit, marinate, and I will be back shortly. All right, here we go. So I've got my thermometer in my grease. We're running right at 300 degrees, so it's going to heat up just a little bit more while I finish things off. I want to get it to about 325. And I've been soaking my chicken in my marinade. I got to get over here where you can see what's going on, don't I? All right, so I've got me just this little pan here with flour. And as I told you, if I was not going to marinate it, I would have put some other things in it, like some garlic and some paprika and different things like that. So there we go. We got our chicken. That first piece is coated with our flour. And get our second piece. Don't think we're quite ready to start frying yet. You know, when you're not at your own house in your own kitchen, you got to deal with what you got to deal with, things that you're not used to having or don't have, and you just make it work, which is what I'm doing here this evening. Look at my fingers. That's starting to fry. Let me go ahead and lay that in there. That first piece is in. We don't want to crowd our chicken in the pan. We just want to lay that around. Almost like Play-Doh. Then I'm going to cut it back to a lower temperature because I've got it hot enough that it started to fry. Oh, I love how that looks. Let me wash my hands so I can show you. This is looking great. So, get my little leftover flour up. And there we go. There it goes frying. It's gonna get a nice brown on it. Just double check our temperature here. So we can regulate it. We wanna make sure it's staying right at that 300. That's perfect. I think these are meant for the grill, but that's all I could find. So let that one side brown. We'll flip it over. We're not going to flip this a lot. We want it to do its thing here in the pan. I'll put the lid back on it, but I'm going to watch this very closely. I'm not going to let it get away from me. Just want to trap that heat in a little bit. Of course, easier if you have a deep fryer where you can just let it go. We want to bring the chicken up to 165 degrees of an internal temperature, and we want it to cook for about 10 to 12 minutes because I've got some thighs here and I've brought them up to room temperature, so we're not going to deal with a whole lot, but that's what we're doing. That looks pretty good. Bye, buddy. My friend's leaving. All right. So we're going to let this fry up. I'm just going to turn this once or twice, not a lot. I don't want to turn it and knock that coating off because that's where our crisp comes in there. And I've done it with the top off, with the top on. At this point, with it sitting right at that 300, we do want to keep as much heat in as we can. And just let the outside and the flour do its thing. I did not use a self-rising flour. I used an all-purpose flour. So that's what we're going to do. Let this fry for 10 to 12 minutes. I'll come back to you when I take it up. Don't really have anything to say to you. But it's National Fried Chicken Day. My favorite food, other than a French fry. If I had a French fry and some fried chicken, I'd be doing good. Maybe we can start that debate about what's the best fried chicken restaurant out there. Do we go fast food? Do we go something else? There's a place back home in South Carolina, near my hometown, called Maryland Fried Chicken. And I don't know if they base their ingredient recipe on Maryland, the state, or if that's just what they came up with when they said it and came up with the name. But Maryland Fried Chicken, if you're ever, I think it's in Conway and Myrtle Beach area. There may be some more, but I'm just not familiar with. They had some good fried chicken and some gizzards. For those of you who love gizzards and livers, they do sell a liver and gizzard plate, and that is good too. So that's what's going to happen. We're getting pretty hot here. That looks good. Not quite ready to turn it yet. I didn't bring my stand, so I'm hopeful that this is okay for you all. I didn't bring it. So, all right, we'll come back when we lift this up. I've got 3 more pieces to fry for this. So while my chicken cools, I decided I'm going to come back outside and enjoy my view tonight. And I walked out. I immediately smelled all of the chicken. I can smell it. It just smells so good. I bet the neighbors are like, what are they doing over there tonight? But I've got the dogs. They're out with me, and there's our view. Enjoying the Great Smoky Mountains. So, in a little bit, I'll go back in and test it out. And if I don't, I got that one hair sticking up. And if I don't, then if I don't make the video, you know what? I'll have it for breakfast in the morning. That's why I cooked extra. All right, so there's my chicken. Most of it's done. I've got one last piece frying. And when you're in a pan like this, you really got to watch it. Otherwise, you get some pieces that get a little too much going on. But again, I'm not at my house. I'm not using my pots, not using my stove. I've had to regulate this temperature, and I'm about to take this piece up, and I'll come back and try it out for you. Hello. So I wound up having to take the dogs out to walk and things, and here's my plate of fried chicken. I think it's cool enough now I can sample it for you. Let me get a different little plate here. So we don't have the crumbs going everywhere. What do you like with your fried chicken? The crispiness is falling off. I think of a good potato salad, something like that. Let's see if we get a crunch. Mm-hmm. Mmm. We're juicy. And we've got that crunch plus the little kick from the cayenne, which is not spicy. So those of you who have not done this, it's not spicy at all. And there's that good stuff. So here's my fried chicken. Thanks to Paula Deen. When she gets back to Pigeon Forge, I'm gonna say, what else could we do with chicken? I make a lot of chicken dishes, but what else could we do? Something that's good. I'm gonna enjoy. Y'all have a good night.